I feel this rush to achieve great things fast, and that rush is putting a lot of pressure on me as a person. And sometimes I end up not doing anything at all, despite my willingness and drive to do whatever it takes to achieve the things I want to achieve in life. Or at least that's what I would think. And I think I might be sliding into slightly perfectionistic habits without realizing that there might be a better way to achieve the things I want to achieve in life without beating myself along the way. Welcome to this video. Most of the time, we wait a long time or we don't even get started because we're trying to figure out the right way to do something. I think it's important to understand the difference between high achievement and perfectionism. Where perfectionism is some sort of a form of self-sabotage, you have high achievement, which is continuously doing something but improving over time. And when it comes to lowering the pressure on yourself, I believe that doing your best is a lot better and healthier than be perfect, whatever that means. Like, what is perfect? Who defines perfect? Constantly trying to be perfect is just going to lead to a lot of stress. And most of the time, it's not only going to lead to more stress, it's also going to lead to less success, whatever your definition of that is, because you're not constantly doing, you're not constantly achieving. You're trying to be perfect. You're not putting yourself out there. You're not doing the things you really want to do because you're afraid of not being perfect. You're afraid of not doing it right. Therefore, I think it's very important to follow something called the 1% rule, and I'll leave a link to that in the description. But the 1% rule is essentially a rule that says that you should get 1% better for every attempt that you do of something. So for example, if you're trying to start a YouTube channel, most of the time it's very hard to get to your goal immediately. If your goal is to get really good at editing YouTube videos, you can get 1% better by making one minor better change every time you post a new vid, rather than trying to get all of them right the first time. Most of the time, it's not going to be a very high quality the first time. Instead of trying to be perfect, just do the things you want to do and just improve over time. 1% better every time, and over time you'll notice that you'll get so much better at doing that one thing. There's this one personality theory that says that there's two contrasting personalities. There's personality A and there's personality B. And personality B is in contrast to personality A. And the Wikipedia definition of the type A personality is: type A individuals are outgoing, ambitious, rigidly organized, highly status conscious, impatient, anxious, proactive, and concerned with time management. People with type A personalities, often high-achieving quote-unquote workaholics, they push themselves with deadlines and hate both delays and ambivalence, whatever that is. I don't know how to pronounce that word, but it's a part of it. It's important to note that you're not going to have all of these personality traits. You might have some of them, and then you might have some for personality B. Everyone is not just set defined within one of those categories. Typically, I did a test online, and I can leave the link to that down below, but I was like a personality A-ish, not personality A, but personality A-ish. So I had some of the traits from there. But while you can't necessarily completely change your personality, you can take minor steps in order to minimize certain traits that you might have that you don't really like, for example, from personality A. And some of the things that you can do is, for example, exercising, breathing, going on walks. There's certain things that you can do to kind of lower those personality traits. And I'll talk a little bit more about different things that you can do and why they're good. Not all stress is the same. Some stress can be detrimental to our well-being, whereas some stress can be healthy actually to our well-being. We typically separate between something called chronic stress and eustress. And chronic stress is the constantly psychologically draining kind of stress, emotionally draining kind of stress, which, like it sounds, is pretty harmful to our well-being. And this kind of stress can very quickly leave us exhausted and burnt out, where you might have the eustress that's actually beneficial to our well-being and is actually necessary for our well-being as well, and I'll tell you why. Because eustress is the kind of stress that keeps us happy and excited about life. And examples about this kind of stress is going on a roller coaster or getting your first job, maybe going on your first date, like those kinds of stress. And I'm sure you've felt some of those types of situations before, and that is very stressful, but it's a good type of stress. But having eustress is very important, and a lack of it might actually result in boredom at worst, but in more serious cases, it might actually lead to depression. You could also lack the motivation to, for example, go and achieve your goals, but not having a reason to wake up in the morning is very damaging to your health, as you could probably imagine. You might have a job that you really like, or you might be doing something that you're super excited about, and that's the kind of stress that you want, not the chronic stress that comes with a lot of the productivity. I gotta be the absolute best, be perfect, like those types of stresses. You don't really want that. It's really about finding the balance. While eustress doesn't carry the same type of damage that chronic stress does, too much of it might actually be bad, just like anything else in life. Too much of something is not good, it's bad, or can be bad. Like healthy food is good, but if you eat too much healthy food, then you're eating too much food. If you know what I mean, like there's limits, there's a balance to find, and that's the kind of balance you want to find with your stress as well. And just like a schedule can become overloaded and stressful, even if all the activities are fun activities, you can also feel overloaded by too much eustress if you're not allowing yourself to go back to a relaxed state of mind. You need that healthy balance of downtime. Hence why a balance between work activities and fun activities are very important. A few ways to find balance in life is, for example, by meditation, which can help you separate yourself from your thoughts, which lets you stand back and choose your response rather than reacting in fear or out of panic. And meditation can actually help you relax your body and be less reactive to stress. And another way is by journaling, which can provide an emotional outlet for your stressful feelings, because you can brainstorm solutions to the problems that you're facing. But it also helps you cultivate your positive feelings and thoughts, which can help you feel a little bit less stressed. And then you have reframing, which is shifting the way you see a problem. But be aware that it's not tricking yourself to not feel stressed or pretending like you're not stressed. Rather, it's the complete opposite. It's about seeing solutions or benefits or new ways to cope with your stress, new perspectives. And last but not least, the most important of them all is the positive thinking. You get really far with positive thinking.